Rainy nights are supposed to bring peace, but sometimes they bring something else. A stranger under the streetlight. Footsteps in a tunnel. A knock from the basement. These are not stories to help you sleep, they are true accounts of terror that began when the rain started falling. Watch until the end, because the storm might not be outside your door, it might already be in. The stranger under the streetlight asterisk. Rain hit the windshield in thick, steady sheets. Wipers squeaked across the glass. I was the only car on the road. Empty farmland on both sides. No lights. No houses. Just water. And darkness. And the glow of one streetlight up ahead. Beneath it, a man stood still. No umbrella. No coat. Drenched head to toe. He faced away from the road, arms hanging at his sides, like he had been standing there for hours. As I drove closer, my headlights lit him up. He was not moving, not even swaying. Something about that stillness made the back of my neck tighten. I eased off the gas, slowed as I passed. He turned his head, just enough for me to see half his face, soaked, pale, eyes wide open, mouth stretched into a smile. Too long, too sharp, too wrong. I kept driving, faster now. Tried to tell myself it was just a hitchhiker, just a man caught in the rain. But 10 seconds later, I passed another streetlight, and he was there again. Same man, same stillness, same twisted smile. My chest locked. I gripped the wheel, checked the mirror. Empty road. I looked forward. He was now in the next light. Closer. I never stopped, never braked. But he kept getting ahead of me, always standing, under the next streetlight. Each time, his head turned just a little more, until on the 7th pass, he faced me fully. Eyes black, mouth open, arms wide. And in that moment, I saw it. His feet were not touching the ground. His feet hovered just inches above the pavement. Rain poured through him, but never changed him. His clothes stayed soaked, but never dripped. My headlights passed through his legs, as if he was made of fog, or smoke, or memory. I slammed the gas. Tires slid on wet asphalt. The engine roared, but the road curved, and the curve ended at a tunnel. No streetlights now, just darkness ahead. I hesitated, only for a second, then drove in. The tunnel swallowed the sound of the rain. All I could hear was my breathing, and the steady hum of tires. Halfway through, my headlights flickered, then went out. The engine died. Silence. Total. Heavy. Then I heard it. Footsteps. Wet and slow. From behind the car. Echoing against the tunnel walls. Getting closer. I locked the doors. Tried the key. Nothing. The footsteps stopped. Right at my window. I looked. Nothing. No one. Then I turned forward again. He was in the passenger seat. Smiling. His clothes dripped onto the seat, but the water vanished before it touched anything. His head tilted. His eyes locked on mine. Dark, endless, pulling me into something cold. Something ancient. I tried to move. Scream. Breathe. Nothing worked. The tunnel lights flickered overhead, then burst one by one. Closer, closer, until the car sat in pure black. He leaned in. I smelled wet soil, like something pulled from deep underground. His voice came without him moving his lips. You passed me. Now I pass through you. I blinked. He was gone. The engine sputtered once, then roared back to life. Headlights lit the tunnel again. I was alone. Passenger seat dry. I drove. I did not look back. Not until I reached home. Shaking, soaked, and silent. I told no one. Slept with the lights on. 4 days. But last night, my phone lit up. No number. Just one message. Next time you stop. His clothes dripped onto the seat, but the water vanished before it touched anything. His head tilted. His eyes locked on mine. Dark, endless, pulling me into something cold. Something ancient. I tried to move. Scream. Breathe. Nothing worked. The tunnel lights flickered overhead, then burst one by one. Closer, closer, until the car sat in pure black. He leaned in. I smelled wet soil, like something pulled from deep underground. His voice came without him moving his lips. You passed me. Now I pass through you. I blinked. He was gone. The engine sputtered once, then roared back to life. Headlights lit the tunnel again. I was alone. Passenger seat dry. I drove. I did not look back. Not until I reached home. Shaking, soaked, and silent. I told no one. Slept with the lights on. 4 days. But last night, my phone lit up. No number. Just one message. Next time you stop. His clothes dripped onto the seat, but the water vanished before it touched anything. His head tilted. His eyes locked on mine. Dark, endless, pulling me into something cold. Something ancient. I tried to move. Scream. Breathe. Nothing worked. The tunnel lights flickered overhead, then burst one by one. Closer, closer, until the car sat in pure black. He leaned in. I smelled wet soil, like something pulled from deep underground. His voice came without him moving his lips. You passed me. Now I pass through you. I blinked. He was gone. The engine sputtered once, then roared back to life. Headlights lit the tunnel again. I was alone. Passenger seat dry. I drove. I did not look back. Not until I reached home. Shaking, soaked, and silent. I told no one. Slept with the lights on. 4 days. But last night, my phone lit up. No number. Just one message. Next time you stop. The message stayed on the screen, refusing to disappear. I powered off the phone, turned it back on. It was still there. Same words. Same chilling silence behind them. Next time you stop. I deleted it. Blocked the number. But that night, the rain returned. Harder. Colder. Like it had weight. Thunder shook the walls. Lights flickered. Then I heard it. Music. A soft hum. Echoing from the street. I peeked through the blinds. Nothing. Just wet pavement. And the yellow glow of a single street light. And under it, him. Again. Soaked. Still. Smiling. He was waiting. But this time, he was not on the road. He was in my driveway. I stepped back from the window. Heart pounding against my ribs. Rain streaked the glass like veins, distorting his shape, but not hiding it. He did not move. Not even to blink. Just stood there. Face tilted slightly toward the house. As if listening. The air inside turned damp. Heavy. My breath fogged the window from 10 feet away. Then the doorbell rang. What? Sure. The sound cut through the thunder. I stood frozen, staring at the door. Another ring. Longer this time. Then a knock. Slow. Measured. Like he already knew what I would do. I inched closer. Against every instinct. Looked through the peephole. Empty porch. No one there. But the rain was no longer falling outside. It was falling inside. From the ceiling. From the walls. Dripping onto my feet. I looked down. There. On the wet floorboards. 2 sets of footprints. Leading deeper into the house. The prints were bare. Long. Too narrow to be mine. They trailed through the hallway. Past the kitchen. Toward the back of the house. I followed. Not because I wanted to, but because something pulled at me. Quiet, invisible. Like a hook beneath the skin. Each step I took, the house grew colder. The walls wept rain. The lights dimmed, buzzing softly, like they feared what was ahead. The footprints stopped. At the door to the basement. A place I had not opened in months. A place that had always felt. The doorknob dripped water. Not from above. From within. I reached for it. My hand shook. The metal burned cold against my skin. I turned the knob slowly. The door creaked open. Darkness inside. Not pitch black. Something worse. The kind of dark that moves. That waits. I stepped down. 1 stair. 2. The basement smelled like wet wood. And something buried. At the bottom, the figure stood. Back to me. Soaked. Same clothes. Same posture. But this time, he was not alone. He turned slightly. And behind him were more. Dozens. All dripping. All staring. And in the center, an empty space. Just wide enough for one more. The moment I saw the empty space, my body locked. Every instinct screamed, but my legs moved forward. Not by choice. Something else was guiding me, pulling me down the last stair. The figures watched in silence. Eyes hollow. Faces pale and stretched. Rainwater pooled around their bare feet, but never touched the floor. It hovered, like time had stopped, just for them. I tried to speak. No sound. Only breath. Shaking. Then the original figure stepped aside. He gestured to the space. His fingers long, twisting like soaked rope. It was not an offer. It was a demand. The air turned thick. My vision swam. The basement walls began to pulse. Slow and deep. Like a heartbeat. Like I was inside something alive. I took a step toward the empty space. And then, a voice behind me. Soft. Familiar. Cracked like old tape. Leave now. Do not look again. I turned around. There was no one, but the basement door had swung open. Daylight, real air, freedom. I ran. Up the stairs, through the hall, out the front door. Rain poured harder than ever, but it felt clean, pure. Behind me, the house groaned, then fell silent. I never went back, but some nights, when the storm is strong, and the streets are empty, I hear footsteps in the rain, stopping, right outside my window, waiting. I moved out of that house the following week, packed in silence, left furniture behind. I never looked in the basement again. The new place is smaller, brighter, quieter, but the rain still finds me. And some nights, when the sky splits open, and thunder rolls low through the trees, I hear it again, dripping, from inside the walls, from under the floorboards. And once, just once, I heard a knock, slow, measured, right beneath my feet. I no longer open doors after dark. I do not drive past streetlights. I do not speak of that house. But I know this: whatever waited in the basement, whatever stood in that empty space, did not stay behind. It followed. And one night, when the rain falls just right, it will want to finish what it almost claimed. So if you ever hear footsteps in the storm, do not look outside. Do not answer the knock. And whatever you do, stay out of the basement. Asterisk, asterisk.